Are you watching this video right now, but you're not a Star Wars fan? Well, I know just the movie for you. Spaceballs! For those of you who don't know what it is, Spaceballs is a parody of Star Wars created by Mel Brooks. And in this week's video, I'm going to be talking about it, because why not, I guess? Anyway, so the movie starts and we get introduced to the bad guys, led by this guy called Dark Helmet.
I can't breathe in this thing!
And the whole goal was basically to capture Princess Vespa after she ran away from her wedding.
Thunderbirds on go!
And the reason why they wanted to go through all of that trouble was so that they could force her father, King Roland, to give them the combination to the air shield so that they could steal all of the air from planet Druidia and take it back to their planet Spaceball. I honestly just love the fact that the whole goal was basically to steal air from another planet. It's just so funny. So anyway, King Roland hires Captain Lone Star and his sidekick Barf to try and rescue Princess Vespa in exchange for 1,000,000 space bucks. So they then do that by jamming the radar with literal jam, they rescue the princess, and her droid, and then they proceed to escape by using light speed. But then the bad guys try to catch up to them by using ludicrous speed, which I think is meant to be much faster than light speed.
Ludicrous speed!
However, it ultimately backfired because they went too fast and they had no choice but to activate the emergency brake, causing Dark Helmet to go flying and ending up crashing into one of the ship's computers. Meanwhile, the gang run out of fuel because they burnt it all up in hyperspace, and they have no choice but to make an emergency landing on the desert moon of Vega. That night while they were camping, Lone Star and Vespa have a bonding scene together, and he basically tells Vespa his whole backstory, the story that he has no idea what planet he was from. The only thing he had to remember of his past life was a medallion he wears around his neck that no one could translate or understood. So then the two of them almost kiss, but then, never mind. The next morning when they wake up, they meet these little short creatures who kinda look like Jawas from episode 4. They then give him an escort to an ancient temple of sorts.
It looks like the Temple of Doom.
Where they then meet the everlasting know-it-all, Yogurt. Hey, wait a second, isn't that Mel Brooks? Basically, Yogurt is the keeper of a magic known throughout the universe as
The Force?
No, the Schwartz.
Fast forward a good couple of minutes and we see Princess Vespa being called out by her father. However, it was all just a trick and it was really Dark Helmet using the downside of the Schwartz on her mind. So he captures her and her droid and takes them back to his ship. Yogurt then gives Lone Star a fortune cookie and the ring of the Schwartz, and him and Barf say their goodbyes, fly off to rescue Princess Vespa. Meanwhile, over at Spaceball City, Dark Helmet tells the king that if he doesn't give them the combination, he'll give his daughter back her old nose. To which the king gives in to, and he tells Dark Helmet that he'll give them the combination.
The combination is
1, 2, 3,
4.
5. That's the stupidest combination I ever heard in my life. That's the kind of thing an idiot would have on his luggage.
That's amazing. I've got the same combination on my luggage.
Hey yo, is that Mel Brooks again? So Barf and Lone Star make it back to Spaceball City where they try and rescue the princess, and they steal some uniforms to sneak in like in Star Wars Episode 4. Anyway, so they rescue them, fight off some of the guards, and then they proceed to head back to planet Druidia to try and stop Dark Helmet and the Spaceballs. So then the Spaceballs manage to make it to planet Druidia, and then Dark Helmet is greeted by his boss, President Scroob.
Ship is too big. If I walk, the movie will be over.
By the time the gang all makes it to planet Druidia, they're already too late. The Spaceball spaceship began to transform into a gigantic, maid with a vacuum cleaner, which was known as Mega Maid. So then they turn on the vacuum and begin to steal all of the air from the planet before Lone Star uses the Schwartz, which makes him go from suck to blow.
Do something.
Do something! Do something!
So after all that, Lone Star sneaks onto the ship to try and activate the self-destruct button before he gets confronted by Dark Helmet.
I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate.
What's that make us?
Absolutely nothing.
And then the two of them have a lightsaber fight, but then Lone Star loses the ring. But then he just uses the Schwartz by himself, which deflects Dark Helmet's beam, causing him to crash headfirst into the self-destruct button. He then runs back to his ship, activates the hyperspace, and Mega Maid blows up. And after Lone Star brought the princess home, he kinda missed her. They then open the fortune cookie and meet Yogurt again, and Yogurt tells Lone Star that the medallion he wears around his neck is a royal birth certificate, which means he's a prince. So then he flies all the way back to planet Druidia, he marries the princess, and the end. Overall, Spaceballs is a great movie. And not only did Mel Brooks direct this movie, he also played 2 characters. So if you haven't seen Spaceballs, I highly recommend that you watch this movie. Also, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. And it's time for me to pop off. May the Schwartz be with you.
God willing, we'll all meet again in Spaceballs 2. The search for more money.
If only. Hey, wait a second, what's that? Spaceballs 2